Good afternoon, everyone. This is Robert. RJL Network. Welcome you back to the network, I should say. Did anybody miss me out there for a few weeks? It is good to see everybody once again. RJL Network presents a very special presentation of Inside Pitch. The 1961 demo game is on the air. What exactly is a demo game? This is actually a game where, of course, I usually use the two World Series teams from the upcoming season that was voted on by you guys and show you the mechanics of a game of Inside Pitch. I have found this to be the most exciting tabletop baseball game you can play. If anybody wonders why I say that, check some of the Game of the Years in my playlist, and you'll find out why I say that. Inside Pitch is a game, all right, where, of course, of a game of baseball created by Chris Davis of Indie Sports Games. And this is Inside Pitch, where really anything is possible in a game of Inside Pitch. Utilizing matrices to get your results. And of course, the dice rule everything. That's the one thing about Inside Pitch. The dice rule the game. You, of course, make your decisions to pinch hit, steal, that kind of thing. But the dice rule the game. There is only two charts, I should say, that Inside Pitch uses to resolve plays. And that is the bunt chart, the bunt chart and the squeeze bunt chart. These are the only charts that Inside Pitch uses to resolve a play. Everything is off the cards and the dice. So there are no charts to look up. Everything is on the cards for you. That's one of the special things about Inside Pitch. So today we're going to do a demonstration game. We play one game here. And of course, we're using the Cincinnati Reds and the New York Yankees from the year 1961. These were the two World Series teams from that year. And here we're going to show you a game of Inside Pitch. I will be rolling the dice, and I will be referring to every matrix or every kind of call that occurs here during Inside Pitch, so you can see exactly how the game plays. Now, the one caveat that a lot of people have about Inside Pitch is the base running mechanics. So difficult to try to learn the base running. I will agree 100% it was a little difficult, but once you get it down pat, slow and steady, it's almost second nature to a point you don't even need the charts. But so what I did is I created a kind of like a runner advancement helper. This helper is designed to help you create the calculations already set up for you, and then you just check the base runner's BR ability, see where the ball was hit, where he's running from, and you do that. So what I decided to do is before we started the game, I decided to go ahead and create the card right in front of you so you guys can actually see how this card is made. And so for everyone there that does want to play Inside Pitch and want to learn the rules and such, they can create the card. Personally, I don't need this, but I use this now for you guys, and it's a little bit quicker. Welcome, Jack Dawson, to the network, to Yankee Stadium. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you how we create the card. I created a card and I put it in a card. I put it in a card sleeve that I use for Marvel Champions and things like that. Slides right in so it can be reused. The first thing we got to do is we're going to go ahead and find out the outfielders, and we're going to usually do the visiting team and the home team. So the visiting team I write up as Cincinnati, and the home team, of course, is the New York Yankees. So now we go ahead and we got to go create the chart. The chart that we use, of course, is the runner advancement chart here, okay, for Inside Pitch. And here you can see the outfield. Now, the infield is easy. It automatically tells you how the base runners will advance. The outfield is the problem that a lot of people have. So you can see a single to left field is a -2 automatically from get to first and third. Single to center is a -1, and a single to 9 is a +2. And these, of course, you add to the base running ability of the batters. and of course, any modifications from the outfielder arm. Good to see you, Woodman564. I've missed everybody. So now I'll show you how we create it. And I hope I got that on screen, and I do. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at single to left field 1 to 3. The left fielder, and this is Cincinnati's marks, and this is when this is the Yankee outfield adjustments, and this is the Cincinnati outfield adjustments. The left fielder for the Reds in this game is going to be Frank Robinson. In left field, he is a -2 arm in left field. So in left, what you do to get from first to third in left field is a -2. But since Robinson is also a -2, it's going to be a -4. So anybody to get from first to third on a single to left, their base running rating is automatically reduced -4. Center field is -1. Center fielder for the game for the Reds is Veda Pinzone, and he is a -2. So that is going to be a -3 to get from first to third if the ball is hit to center field. To right field is a +2. The right fielder for the Reds in this game is going to be Wally Post. He has a 0 arm rating up here. So because he has a 0 arm rating, that +2 doesn't change, and that becomes a +2. Now we check second to home. Well, we already know that Frank Robinson is a -2 in left field. Second to home on a single to left field is a +1. So in a way, since he is a -2, but it's a +1, it's a +1, okay, from single to left, second to home. A -2, it becomes a -1 to second to home because he's a -2. So that +1 becomes a -1. Of course, Pinzone is a -2, so a single to center +2. So now a second to home is a 0. And right field, second to home, his Post is a 0. He has a arm rating of 0, and it's a +1, so that stays the same. So that is how you create these right here. So it'll be a -1, a 0, and a +1 when Cincinnati's in the field. A double is -1, first to home, -1, +1, and -1. Well, we know, of course, that Robinson's a -2, so that double to left will be a -3 for that runner to get to home. A double to center is a +1. We know that Pinzone is a -2, so that becomes a -1 instead. And a right fielder in right field, a -1 would be a -1, but Post has a 0 arm result, so that stays a -1. So that is how you use this card to create it. These will not change at all throughout the game unless you make a change in the outfield. Then you're going to go ahead and make a change. Since I use a dry erase marker, and of course, a dry erase marker, and you can always have something on hand. It could be a paper towel or anything. So let's say Robinson comes out of the game and replace him with Gus Bell in left field. He's a +1 in left field. So then you would change all of these guys, -4, -1, -3, and you can just go ahead and do that. And now if Gus Bell was in left field for the Reds, and he is a +1 up here, so then you just got to go ahead and check and just redo the adjustments. So instead of a +1, now he's a +1 in left field. So but it's a -2 on a single to left. Okay. A +1, that would become a -1, and then a +2, and then a 0 instead. And that makes a big difference, of course, in the outfield, which pretty much tells you that with that system, it makes a difference between a runner scoring or a runner holding or a runner being thrown out, of course, due to the arm. So let's see, it was -4 and -1 and -3 for Robinson. So that is how you create the card here. So that is Cincinnati's card. Now I will do the Yankee card. The Yankee bottom of the lineup, single, and I'll do skip a little faster. So Yogi Berra is in left field. He's -1. So we know we got a -3 on a first to third single to left, a 0 second to home, and -2 first to home on a double to left field. Center fielder, of course, is Mantle. He's -1. So you have a -1 becomes a -2. +2, he becomes a +1, becomes a +1, and a +1 -1 becomes a 0. And then in right field, you have, of course, Maris. He's in right. He's a -2 arm. So that +2 then becomes a 0. And let's see, what did I say? Maris -2. And he's a +1. Second home becomes a -1. And a -2 then becomes a -3. So that is how I create these cards. Pinzone, exactly. Veda. I know Darth Veda Pinzone. I know, whatever. I know you're gonna go get me on there, but it's okay. And that is how I create the card for the runner advancement. That is so right now, if you just create something like this, and of course you don't have to create it exactly like I do. You can just write it write it in the book or whatever you're using, and then all you got to do. Of course, what I do is I use this red marker that tells me who's in the field. So I know what to look at. And so if you have a base runner, so let's say Don Blasingame is on base, his base running rating is a 4. So on a let's say he hits a base, let's say Eddie Casco goes ahead and bats a base hit to center field. Okay, so Blasingame, a base running rating of 4, a single to center to get for third is a -2. So already 4 -2 is 2, and you just roll your die, and that's it. Of course, if there's 2 outs, you always add 1 to the base running rating of the base runner. So that is how. So people have been asking me how I create this card, and that's exactly how you do it. So that's my tutorial on how to create a simple base running card for hits to the outfield. And of course, the rest of the chart, the chart itself is simple, where if it's in 2 to 6, 3 to 6, and where it automatically sells. So singles through the infield are automatically done for you. Singles to the outfield or doubles to the outfield. This little thing will help you here as well. Yes, exactly, Brian B. And good to see you, Brian B. Steeler fan Matt, of course. Coast Kid 1958 Ford. Glad you guys can join us for a little demonstration game. Of course, what does a demo game usually mean? That means we're only 1 week away from opening day of the 1961 season. And this was the season, of course, you guys chose that voted on. 1 vote. 1961 won by 1 vote over 1992. Amazing how close that was. And I'm very happy to be doing 1961. I don't care what season I do. The season selection show always gives you 4 good choices. And of course, we'll have another season selection show before the World Series in this season. So without further ado, let's play some inside pitch baseball. We are at Yankee Stadium, where the Cincinnati Reds take on the New York Yankees. And Salvador America, good to see you there. Joel Turney, good to see you guys there. Hope Mrs. America is doing well as you there, Mr. America. So this is a demonstration game. We do this slow and steady per die roll. And everything is set. Now, how I make a scorebook is I use an own scorebook. I really know. And here, of course, I put the runner, the base running, the range play, the error rating, and the arm rating here. That's how I do create my scorebook. I don't, of course, the only stacks I could, of course, keep track of is just wins and losses, and that is all. So good to have everybody here. I hope you guys didn't miss me too badly. Of course, I know I have not streamed anything since the state of the network. I wanted to do some streaming with other stuff, but unfortunately, I just don't have the play area. So it looks like I'm going to be set. It looks like I'm going to be settling on baseball for the time being. Maybe some Marvel Champions in the future. I don't know. But right now, of course, And I'll tell you, I'm very happy that the demo game has finally arrived. I was already getting, I was also kind of weaning myself off of inside pitch for a little bit, but I had the knack. I wanted to play some, but I decided to take the break and rest the voice. No excitement today. This is just the basic demo game. So we have the Reds and the Yankees here at old Yankee Stadium. Old Yankee Stadium. We're going to see a lot of interesting, lots of history here in 1961. 10 teams in the American League, 8 in the National League. No Mets, no Colt 45s, but we have Senators, we have Los Angeles Angels. You know, we have we have Hall of Famers. We have lots of Hall of Famers actually in this season. So lots of legends. So 1961 should be fun. So let's get started here. Starting pitcher for the New York Yankees will be the chairman of the board, Whitey Ford. Was he maybe the was he maybe the left-handed version of Yankee? Was he like a lefty version of Yankees Tom Seaver? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Was he like a lefty Tom Seaver for the Yankees? I don't know. Whitey Ford, I mean, definite Hall of Famer, 25 wins, 4 losses, a 3.21 ERA. A little high, but yet Whitey Ford got a lot of run support in most of the games he played. So the chairman of the board is on the board, shall we say, tonight. So now let's go ahead and get started. Let's play a demonstration game of inside pitch. We'll start at the top of the first inning. And leading off for the 61 Cincinnati Reds, second baseman Don Blasingame, 222 average, a homer, 21 RBIs in 61. He was mostly the main second baseman for the Reds. We are going to use blue, white, and white dice for the Yankees. They are the home team. So we will now start. And of course, the first rolls always start on the pitcher card, and then we go to the batting card. Yankee manager was fired for not pitching. Yep, exactly. Big Clue joins us here as well. Good to see you there, Big Clue. I knew a Reds game you wouldn't miss. So let's get this demonstration game underway. We start with a 1-6. A 1-6 on Whitey Ford's card is a K, and that means a possible strikeout. We then go to Don Blasingame. Against lefties, Blasingame has a 6. There's no adjustment from Yankee Stadium, so it stays a 6. That is an 11, so that is going to be too high. So Blasingame will go ahead and get to roll. And that is a 2-4. A 2-4 says G4, and Blasingame goes ahead and just grounds one to second base. And we've got one out. Next batter for the Reds, he will be the shortstop, Eddie Casco, 271 average, 2 homers, 27 RBIs. Pretty good year for Casco. He is the shortstop for the Reds in this game. Blasingame is the guy that lost his job in 63 to Rose. That is true. So we roll for Whitey Ford, a 1-3, and Whitey Ford comes up with a straight HR. This is a home run result, not a home run chance. So it's an automatic home run result, which means we go right to the batter card. Eddie Casco, however, against lefties is a 0. So so the splits in this card are in effect. So that is a 0. Yankee Stadium does not give any extra adjustments to home runs. So even though that's a home run result, Casco did not hit any homers against lefties. 61. So that becomes an automatic blank, which means Casco does get to roll. And that is a 3-2. A 3-2 for Casco is going to be an S9. So that's going to be a base hit to right field for Casco. And the Reds will get a man on base. So that is a single, as he singles that one to Maris in right field. So a base hit on first for the Reds. Now what I usually do is automatically, there's a runner on first, I automatically put the visiting the team into double play depth, which means you bring it to double play depth. So now what double play depth means, the double play ratings is added to 1 for double play. However, Eddie Casco's base running rating is reduced by 1 as a 2, as it features the runner being held on. So we go to double play depth automatically. And next up for the Reds will be center fielder Darth Veda Pinzone. Is Veda Pinzone a Hall of Famer? What do you guys think? Should he be in the Hall? He definitely Hall of the Very Good, no doubt about that. Is he a Hall of Famer? Should he be in the Hall? I mean, Veda Pinzone has, you know, I mean, I really can't argue him not being in there. I just think he should. I think he should be. I don't know. Do you guys think should be in the Hall of Fame, had an awesome season in 61, 343 average, 16 homers, 87 RBIs. He was one of the top hitters in baseball that year. Now, of course, before we go ahead and roll, we now do what is called a strategy roll. Anytime runners are on base, you do a strategy roll, of course, depending on what the score is, what the scoreboard says. We roll a strategy roll. What we're going to do is we're going to use a strategy roll hard and fast, which means I usually use it as a suggestion, but we're going to use a strategy roll here. And of course, I'll bring out the strategy roll chart so you guys can see it. We're going to roll it, and it comes up a 2. Eddie Casco has an attempt rating of 1. -1 for Ford makes him a 0. Okay, so that means right now that Casco, even though it's a 2, Casco does not get the steal sign to go. However, let's check to see, is there a possible hit and run? Well, Pinzone, against lefties, he strikes out as a 6 with a 0, and the hit and run chart would add 3 to that. So that 1 then would become, so you add 3 to a chance of a hit and run. So that's a 0, and you add 3 to that, which makes it a 3. So in a way, because this came up, a hit and run actually does come up. So we're going to do a hit and run here with Veda Pinzone. So we're going to roll a hit and run. A hit and run is a hit and run here is a little different, and we'll bring up the chart. First of all, on a hit and run, a roll from the pitcher is normal. And it comes up a 3-1. A 3-1 against the lefty, and Pinzone is a lefty, is a K+. Is a K+. So this is a strikeout +10 on Whitey Ford's card. However, on hit and runs, this still works on hit and runs. So it's a strikeout +10. Pinzone is a 6, but you add 10 to that since he is a lefty, and that becomes a 16. That is a 4. Whitey Ford struck him out. But it is a hit and run, so Eddie Casco is on his way to second. His stolen base rating is an 11. However, if the batter strikes out, you resolve the play like a steal, but -2 to stolen base rate. So now his 11 is a 9. Ford -4 is a 5. And the catcher, who happens to be Elston Howard, -2 is a 3. Now, if this was a regular season game, I would not have done a hit and run here because I would have called it off. But Casco, so his only way he could steal second is on a 3, and he is thrown out with no problems. That's going to be a strike him out, throw him out. That is a double play, and that will end the inning. So he goes out on strikes. Casco is thrown out at first. And just like that, we had no runs and a hit. And that retires the side. So a strike him out, throw him out. And we will go to the bottom of the first inning with no score. You're kind of surprised the Yankees at a +1. There only were 171 home runs hit there, Brian B. Not that many. Okay. Only 171 home runs. Remember, the 60s, of course, a lot different here than what we're used to seeing here on the network. But that's great. We got to see some other action. So that is a strike him out, throw him out, and that will retire the side. We will now go to the bottom of the first. Starting pitcher for the 61 Cincinnati Reds will be Jim O'Toole. He also had a pretty good year. 19 wins, 9 losses, 2 saves, a 3.09 ERA. Had 178 strikeouts, 86 walks. Jim O'Toole was the main pitcher for the Reds in that year. So he gets the call today for the Reds. I now move the fielding marker here to Cincinnati, telling me this is the fielding marker I have to use. Okay, when the Yankees are at bat. You very rarely hit and run. Remember, I hit and run a lot, actually. A lot of people wonder, do I do it often? So I look at it simple. Remember, we're using the strategy roll hard and fast. So whatever the strategy roll says to do, we're going to do it. This is the reason, and why am I doing it that way? This is the reason why you should not use it hard and fast. And remember, it does say all can be overridden based on game situation or gamer's choice. You do not have to use it at all. You don't have to. Let's go to the bottom of the first, shall we? Leading off for the Yankees, second baseman Bobby Richardson, 261 average, 3 homers, 49 RBIs. Bobby Richardson played in all 162 games of the Yankees. So now we'll start with Jim O'Toole's card, and let's see what we got. And that is a 3-6. A 3-6 on Toole's card is a K, strikeout chance. Against the lefty, Richardson is a 2. No adjustment from the ballpark. That is a 12. He will not strike out. So we go to Richardson's card. And that is a 6-2. 6-2 for Richardson is a base hit to center field, at S8. And the Yankees start off with a single to center. So the Yankees start off with a base hit. As good as this team was in 1961, I'm expecting a lot of runs by this guy. And so he did pass. I am sorry to hear that, Matt. Well, we'll do this game in honor of your dad. We'll do this game in honor of your dad there, Matt. I'm sure everybody in the chat will give you we'll give you our condolences. Thank you there, Steeler fan and Matt. And we do apologize. We hope all will be well for you and your family. And may he rest in peace. Good to see you also there, Bruce Berkowitz. So Richardson is on first. We're going to go to a double play death. And next up for the Yankees will be the shortstop, Tony Kubek. 276 average, 8 homers, 46 RBIs. So of course we move into double play depth, and we'll see what the Reds do here. So we roll first, and we do roll a strategy roll. Strategy roll is a 13. Well, Richardson has an attempt of 2. Nothing from O'Toole, which is a 0. That 13 is going to be too high for anything, so there is no play. Kubek will roll, and that is a 6-6. O'Toole again comes up with a strikeout chance. Against the lefty, Kubek is a 5. That is a 6. He just misses a strikeout. So Kubek will go ahead and swing the bat. And that is a 3-4 on his, and that is a double star line 1. So we know this is going to be an out, and we check O'Toole. We go star line 1. We then go to O'Toole's card, and it's a ground ball to third. So we know a grounder to third. Now we got to check to see if a double play chance occurs. Kubek has a double play rating of 1, 0 from O'Toole, which stays a 1. But with the infield of double play depth, it becomes a 2. So a 1 now. Richardson has a base running rating of 4. -1 because the infield is double play depth, which make it a 3. So a 1 or a 2, it is a double play. A 3, Richardson advances to second. Kubek is out at first. A 4 or 5, it's a fielder's choice. Richardson is thrown out at second. A 6, Richardson, runners move up automatically no matter what. On a double play, you can only go as high as a 5 in his rules. Ground outs, rolls of 1 to 6 are auto advance. Play at first only on all grounders. So even if you can have a double play rating of 6, it cannot go that high. There's always a chance. Chris felt it could be a slow rolling grounder, and you can always get the double play. So a 1 or a 2, it's a double play. It is a 2, so it's third to second to first, and it is a double play, 2 outs. So Kubek does ground out into the 5-4-3 around the horn. And there are 2 away. And then you have the pivot rating. You know what? My bad. I forgot about the pivot rating. My bad. The pivot rating for second base was Blasingame. He was a -1. You know what? I am so bad. Yes, I completely forgot about the pivot rating. Blasingame is a -1 pivot rating. So actually, my bad. That is not a double play. That is a 2. My total bad. Thank you there, Bruce. I totally forgot about the pivot rating. I forgot about the pivot. My bad. Yeah, here I am trying to demo the game, and I'm blowing it. Blasingame is a -1, so actually that's not a double play because that was a 2. So Richardson actually does get to second, and the throw goes to first because Richardson is faster than that. So Richardson actually does make second base, and that's just a grounder to third, as the pivot rating does not get him. So Richardson goes to second base. Thank you very much there, Bruce. I totally forgot about the pivot for some reason. So there's only one out, but now a runner on second. But now with the runner on second, the back is only a double play, is a back. We now move the infield back. So Richardson on at second. And now we have a man called this guy. That will bring up right fielder Roger Maris. Roger Maris is not in the Hall of Fame. Did he really have a Hall of Fame career, or is he only just being known as breaking the 61 barrier from Babe Ruth? I don't think Roger Maris is a Hall of Famer. I don't think he is. But Hall of the Very Good, I'll definitely put him in there with no problem at all. So Richardson now on at second. We still roll a strategy roll. And let's see what we get here. And that is a 16. And nothing's going to happen. Bobby Richardson has chance to go ahead to go steal third. He has a 2-0. The only way it could be divided by 2, so the 2 becomes a 1. But that 16 is too high. Roger Maris has a bunt rating of 1. And on a bunt rating of 1, there's no chance for him to bunt. So there's not going to be a bunt, so it's going to be a normal Ray in play. Toole rolls, and that is a 6-3. And that comes up an EG, an error on a grounder, which means on a ground ball, there could be a possible error. So now we go to Maris's card. Maris says 1-2. On a 1-2, it is an S3. So this is an S3. This is not an error on a grounder to the new rules, okay, for version 3 for inside pitch. This is a slow rolling grounder to first. And now we go ahead and we take the base running ability of the batter to see if they get him safe or out at first base. So it is not an error on a grounder on an S3. This is a slow rolling grounder to first, so it is hit to Coleman at first base. Toole is coming over there to try to make a play. On an S3, it's an automatic base running advancement. Richardson will automatically go to third. But now Maris has a base running rating of 4. So now we roll a die to see on a 1-4, Maris will be safe at first. On a 5 or 6, he is out. It is a 2. He is safe. So the slow rolling grounder, Coleman got there, but Toole couldn't make the play. Maris beats the throw. So now there are runners at first and third with 1 out. And that just goes as a base hit, as an infield single from Maris. Yeah, 61 was a very good baseball film. Absolutely there, Brian B. Absolutely. Now we got runners to the corners with 1 out. And so that brings up that guy. Center fielder, the Mickey Mantle. What can I say about the guy? I mean, what can you say about Mantle? One of the greatest home run hitters ever? Yes. Is he one of the GOATs? Yes. Mickey Mantle was an absolute monster. 317 average, 54 bombs, 128 RBIs. Mickey Mantle played in almost all the games of the Yankees until he got the flu late in the year and could not finish the season. Mantle was the Mike Trout of his day. Yeah, if you want to say it was the Mike Trout of his day, I would have no issue with that. Hall of Famer? Absolutely. With runners at the corners, Mantle doesn't ground out into many double plays here, and his GDP of here to 0. I'm going to play the infield in. The infield in makes a big difference here on the field. So when you play the infield in, the ranges of the infielders are all reduced by 2, but you get chances to go ahead and get a runner out of the plate. So let's do the infield in. We still roll a strategy roll. And that is a 16. Nothing's going to happen here. Mickey Mantle's bunt rating is a 3. And on a 16, nothing's going to happen with regular players. So he will hit away, and I don't think he would bunt anyway. So let's see what we got. Jim O'Toole will roll. 4-4. And it is an S1 in parentheses. This is if the pitcher is tired. Jim O'Toole has to pitch to 30 batters before he tires. Don't you just love 60s baseball when a pitcher can pitch to 30 batters and not only make 3 pitches and he's tired in today's world? This would be a single up the middle if he was tired, but he is not, so this becomes a blank. So we go to Mickey Mantle. Mantle is a 4-3. 4-3 Mantle comes up as a double star 6. We check Tim O'Toole's rating, and a 6 is a fly ball to right. So this is going to be a fly ball, a fly out to right field, and it'll be caught by Wally Post. Mantle has a sacrifice fly rating of 1. So you have a runner on third, you check here. Mantle has a sacrifice fly rating of 1. We automatically know there's going to be 2 outs. We roll a single die. On a single die. Mantle, on a 1, he will bring in Richardson automatically. It is a 2, he does not. Now, since Mantle couldn't bring him in automatically, now you go to Richardson's card. Richardson has a base running rating of 4. Right fielder is Wally Post, and Wally Post has a rating of 0. So on a 1 to so there's no adjustment, so you roll a die again. A 1 to 4, Richardson will score. On a 5, he holds. A 6, he could be thrown out. It is a 1. Richardson will come in, score easily, and just like that on a sacrifice fly, the Yankees do take a 1-0 lead. Roger Maris does automatically stay at first. So I write that down as a sacrifice fly to right, and there are now 2 outs as the Yankees take the lead. An Angels versus Senators regular season game. I'll see what I got there, Brian B. Remember, requests are not easy for me to do due to the way I do my scheduling for the blocks, for schedule blocks. I cannot promise it. Luckily, I can. If I can, I will try, but I cannot promise it, my friend. So there are now 2 outs, and the next batter will be this guy who says, it's not over till it's over. That would be Yogi Berra. He is in left field for the game. 271 average, 22 homers, 61 RBIs. And here we are already 36 minutes into the stream, and we're still stuck in the first inning. So we again roll a strategy roll, and that is a 15, nothing happening. The 15 is too high for any bunt, hit and run, or steal. So now we will now roll. Jim O'Toole has a 1-1. Jim O'Toole 1-1 is a K, which means a strikeout. Against the lefty, Berra is a 2. No adjustment from Yankee Stadium. The 18 is too high. So then we will go back to Yankee Berra's card. And I'm sorry, there will not be a Colt 45s versus Mets game there, Matt, because those 2 teams didn't exist yet. You guys would choose a season where there's no Mets or Astros or Colt 45s. That's okay. We go to Yogi Berra's card. Yogi Berra says 3-2, and Yogi Berra says S7. That is a base hit to left field. So now we get to see how this chart works. It's a single to left. Roger Maris has a base running rating of 4, but with 2 outs, it becomes a 5. A single to left here on the card here says first to third -4 due to Robinson having an excellent arm. So the only way Maris would get to third is on a 1. So a 1 he gets to third, a 2 to 5 he holds, a 6 there could be an out. It is a 3. Maris will still hold at second, even though he's got great speed, but Frank Robinson out there goes ahead, prevents Maris from getting to third base. So it is a base hit, but the runner only moves a base. Third hit in the game here for the Yankees. You got to remember also, this is the reason why. Remember, there's no charts. There's no charts, nothing to look at. In certain games, you would automatically have a base, you would automatically have a single 1-star or 2-star. So Maris would make third automatically or something like that. You have games that have charts that tell you the batter advances. This game of inside pitch really takes into account the outfielder arm and the speed of the base runner and where the ball is hit to. Because a base hit to left is not easy to get from first to third, and Frank Robinson has an excellent arm in left field, it's going to be very difficult for runners on first to get to third on singles to left. There are no charts. The dice roll everything. It is still a possibility he could have gotten to third, but only on a 1, it would have been very difficult. It's very hard for him to get to third, even though Maris had great speed, but Robinson throws the ball in there either way. So there are no charts. Everything is resolved by the dice. And that's the one thing I like about inside pitch. The dice run the game. Still 2 outs. Runners at first and second now. And here comes Moose. First baseman Bill Skowron, 267 average, 28 bombs, 89 RBIs. He was known as Moose Skowron. So now runners at first and second. Jim O'Toole can't get out of this first inning. So now let's see again. We roll the strategy die. And that is a 4. Now, Maris has no attempt here, so nothing's going to happen. And, of course, I don't do hit and runs with runners on second. And, of course, the 4 is too low for any bunt attempt, so nothing's going to happen. There's not going to be a play. It'll be a normal pitch and hit. Jim O'Toole gets to roll. It is a 1-1 again, and a 1-1 is a K, which means a strikeout. But against the lefties, Skowron against lefties is a 10. No adjustment from the ballpark, but the 18 is too high. Skowron gets the swing. It is a 4-1. Skowron says P6, and that means a pop-up in the infield, a pop-out to short. And that'll be caught by Casco, and the inning is over. 1 run on 3 hits, a sacrifice fly. But that is all we get. So after the first inning, and it took 40 minutes to do the first inning, 1-0 in favor of the Yankees. That's why the demo game is always a little bit on the long side. Normally after 40 minutes, I'd probably be in the 3rd, 4th, or maybe even the 5th innings, depending on play. So we go to the top of the second. Go to the top of the second inning here. Whitey Ford takes the mound. Leading off for the Reds will be left fielder Frank Robinson, the ambassador. Is he one of the greatest of all time? Yes, he is one of the GOATs, no doubt. And I call him the ambassador. Frank Robinson, so well loved by the baseball community throughout his life. Definitely one of the GOATs. I don't care what anybody says. Frank Robinson is one of the greatest of all time. 323, and he had a great year in 61. 323 average, 37 homers, 124 RBIs. Frank Robinson was such a well-loved person, as well as a great player and manager, as a matter of fact, as well. So we go to the top of the second. Whitey Ford will make the pitch. 1-1, and that comes up as a double question mark in parentheses. This means that I call this a pitcher result. The pitcher result, we go to, when double question mark, you go to this section of the card. Against a right-handed batter, a 1-8 means a double star, which means that's going to be an automatic out. That is a 15, so that is not an automatic out, so that becomes a blank, and then we go to Frank Robinson's card. Robinson is a 4-1, and he just G6s it. He just goes ahead and grounds it to short. That'll bring up that next up for the Reds will be right fielder Wally Post, a 294 average, 20 homers, 57 RBIs. Wally Post gets the call in right field for the Reds for this game. Yep, 57 hits shy of 3,000, 14 homers. Yeah, I still say he's one of the greatest of all time. You got to say that. The man was one of the best ever. So let's see what we got here now. So we'll speed up a little bit more here. Wally Post, Whitey Ford, a 1-4, and that is a WLD, which means wild pitch. But there's nobody on base, so we don't have to check it. So I just call it a ball 1. There are no rules in case you get 4 of these in a row. I created a house rule that if you get 4 wild pitches in a row off the pitcher card, it's a walk. We re-roll again though off the pitcher card. 1-1. Once again, a double question mark in parentheses. Now, if this comes up when the pitcher is tired, this means the pitcher is exhausted. That's an optional rule, but I will use it if we get there. So once again, we go to the pitcher result, which is here. Post is a righty. A 1-8 would be an automatic out. That is a 3. That will be an out. So now you roll, and that is a 5. And now you check the star line, and that's just going to be a ground ball to first on Whitey Ford's card. 2 men down, and that will bring up the first baseman, Gordy Coleman, 287 average, 26 homers, 87 RBIs. Gordy Coleman gets the call here. Of course, we have 2 outs. So let's see. Whitey Ford, a 6.6. That is a hit by pitch. Gordy Coleman has a hit by pitch rating of 3. Whitey Ford, a -8. You check the HBP rating here, a -8, which would be a -5. Well, you can't go any lower than 0, so it's automatically going to miss. And that is a 3, so there's no going to be a hit by pitch. Coleman gets to go ahead and gets to swing. A 1-3, and it's a double star, a star 1. So you go to Whitey Ford's star line card, and Coleman goes ahead and grounds 1 to second. And that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for the Reds. We go to the bottom of the second inning here. Reds back in the field. Leading off for the Yankees in the bottom of the second will be the catcher, Elston Howard, 348 average, 21 homers, 77 RBIs. The 1961 Yankees are considered one of the best teams in baseball history. Deservedly so, absolutely. The 61 Yankees were just mashers. All they did was just mash. I mean, really, they just mashed for the 61 Yankees. So Jim O'Toole back on the mound. This was just starting the bottom of the second. Toole, a 5.3. A 5.3 here is a walk plus. So he gives up a walk plus 10. Against the lefty, Howard is a 6, but that becomes a 16. But you subtract 2 from the ballpark, which is a -2 walk, so it's going to be a 14 for him to walk. That is a 12. He still walks, and Elston Howard will take a base on balls. And that is the first walk issued by O'Toole. Next batter up for the Yankees will be third baseman Clete Boyer. You guys were talking about Mr. Boyer. You saw Clete Boyer in Cooperstown. Well, there he is. Clete Boyer is in the lineup. He is at third base. He was an excellent third baseman. 224 average, 11 homers, 55 RBIs. Maybe the weak link at the plate, but Boyer was an excellent fielder. So once again, we go to double play depth, and once again, we are rolling the strategy roll. Strategy roll is an 8. Howard, the only way he would go was on a hit and run, and Toole is 0, so an 8 is too high for anything, so there's not going to be a hit and run, so it's a normal play. O'Toole, a 1-1, that is a K. That is a strikeout chance. Against the lefty, Boyer needs a Boyer 10 or lower. That is an 11. O'Toole again just misses, striking out the batter, so that is too high, so Boyer gets to swing. That is a 1-6. And against the lefty, we got a split rating here. Against the right-handed pitcher, Boyer would single past third, but against the lefty, that is a G, and that is going to be a ground. That is going to be a ground ball to third. So now we got to check the double play rating. Boyer is a 3 double play rating. O'Toole is a 0. We add the double play rating, which is a 4. The pivot man is Blasingame, and once again, Blasingame, his pivot rating is a -1, so that becomes a 3. So a 1 to 3 would be a double play. A 4 to 5, Elston is thrown out. There's no way he could get. The only way Elston could get to second is if a 6 is rolled. That is a 2. That's going to be a double play. So once again, it is hit to Gene Freeze. He throws to Blasingame. He throws to Coleman, and we have a double play, 2 outs. So 2 away now. And that will bring up the pitcher, Whitey Ford, who batted 177 that year and 10 RBIs. What does 1961 mean? No designated hitters. Yes, no DH. The DH was not born yet until 1973. All pitchers will be batting in both leagues. So Whitey Ford will go up against O'Toole here in the bottom of the second with 2 outs. O'Toole, we'll see what he has. It is a 3-5. A 3-5 is a K. That is a strikeout chance. Against the lefty, Ford needs an 11. No adjustment from the Yankee Stadium. That is a 19. It's too high. Wow. O'Toole has gotten so many chances to get strikeouts, but he can't get them. Ford, the chairman of the board, gets the swing, a 2-3, and that is going to be a ground ball to second base, handled by Blasingame, and that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, no errors except the walk. And after 2, the Yankees still have a 1-0 lead. If anybody has any questions as I play the game, you can go ahead and ask me. This is the day to do it for demonstrations and such. This is the demo game. You guys can ask your questions or anything like that. It was good to be back here for Inside Pitch. It was nice to nice to have a nice break. The 1979 season did wear me out. I have a funny feeling 61 is going to do the same thing. Top of the 3rd inning, leading off for the Reds is going to be third baseman Gene Freese. 277 average, 26 homers, 87 RBIs. Nothing wrong with those statistics. So Whitey Ford will pitch to Freese here to start the top of the 3rd. We'll speed it up a little bit here. 1-2 and a 1-2 again. Single 1 in parentheses, but Ford is not tired, so that is a blank, and we go to Freese. Freese's card a 5-6, and that is going to be, 5-6, and that's going to be an S7. That's going to be a base hit to left field, and the Reds will get their second hit of the game. So Freese on it first. Infield goes a double play depth. Coming up next for the Reds will be the catcher, Jerry Zimmerman. 206 average, no homers, 10 RBIs. The Reds had a number of catchers in 1961. Zimmerman got the call here. I mean, you had Zimmerman, you got Johnny Edwards, you had Bob Schmidt, but Zimmerman had the most at-bats, so I gave him the call here at catcher. And if the Reds do make the playoffs, he probably is going to be the starting catcher for the Reds in the 61 postseason. Brian Patterson joins us here. Good to see everybody here in the chat. So Freese is on it first, double play depth. Again, we roll the strat. Strategy roll is a 13. Freese has an attempt rating of 2, -1 from Ford. The 13 is too high for anything, for hit and run, bunt or steal, so it becomes a normal play. Whitey Ford, a 4-1. That is a walk. Comes up. Against the lefty, Zimmerman has a 6. A -2 from Yankee Stadium makes him a 4. That is a 20. There is no walk, so Zimmerman does get the swing. That is a 3-4. And against the lefty, here's a split here for Zimmerman. Again, if it was a right-handed pitcher, this would be a base hit up the middle. But instead, it's a G1, and that's a ground ball back up to Ford, and he will make the play. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky for double plays. The pivot rating, when the ball is hit to the pitcher, is not used. It is a -1 automatically when the ball is hit to a pitcher in terms of double play depth. So, Zimmerman has a GDP of 3. Ford is a +1 in double plays, but it's hit to the pitcher. It's a -1 hit to the pitcher, so it's going to cancel this out. You still get the pivot rating for the runner. Zimmerman is a right-handed batter. On a G1, the second baseman is the pivot guy. And I still use this chart because I still get confused. So this would be a 3 +1, but a -1 makes him a 3. The pivot rating for the Yankees is Bobby Richardson. He still has a +2 pivot, so it's still going to be a 5. So a 1 to 5, they still turn the double play. It is a 4, so it's hit right back to Ford. Ford turns around, fires to Richardson at second. The throw goes to first. 2 outs, double play completed. So a 1-4-3 double play. Erases Freese. And there are now 2 outs. And that will bring up the Reds pitcher, Jim O'Toole, a 172 average. He had 6 RBIs in 61. So he will get a chance to go up against Ford. But now 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. Whitey Ford will make the pitch. and that is a 4-2. That is a K. That is a strikeout chance. Against the lefty, Jim O'Toole is a 22. So no matter what that rating number is, it's automatic strikeout, and Toole will go down on strikes. That is the second strikeout for Ford. So no runs, a hit, and an error for the Reds, and they are still down 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the third. I think one of the most asked questions I have saw, runners trying to advance on the bases on a hit to the outfielder and a 6-roll comes up. I know how it goes, but you might want to explain it. Well, as I said, this is a demo game. If that comes up, I will explain it 110%. But this is a demo game. I'm not going to go ahead. If it doesn't, I understand what you're talking about. And it's true, because when 6s come up, it can be confusing. This is a demo game. We'll see if that comes up. We'll see what happens in it. We'll see what happens. But we will see. I will try to get it in if possible. Let's go to the bottom of the third. Top of the order for the Yankees. Here's Richardson. And he got a base hit his first time up. He is 1 for 1. Fans here at Yankee Stadium. This is old Yankee Stadium, by the way. This is where they had that deep fight. What was that? I think that was the year. That still had that 500 feet to left center or something like that. I've seen pictures of old Yankee Stadium. What was it? 500 feet or something? Anybody know the dimensions of that stadium back at that time? I should know. I didn't check. But I know Yankee Stadium was deep and cavernous back in that day. O'Toole will get to roll. And that is a 2-5. A 2-5 is a strikeout. There's a strikeout chance. Against the lefty, Richardson didn't strike out much. That is a 2. The 17 is going to be too high, so that will be a blank. Richardson gets to roll a 4-5, and he's going to get a S6, and that is going to be a base hit past the shortstop. And again, the Yankees have a runner on first. So Richardson is now 2 for 2. Once again, we go to double play depth. Coming up for the Yankees next will be Kubek, and he grounded out his first time up. Strategy roll. Richardson has a 2, a 0, so a 1 or 2 would be I should mention these, make it easier. Strategy roll, a 1 or 2 would be a steal chance. Kubek strikeouts of 5, and it would be a +3. So a 1 to 2 would be a steal, a 3 to 5 would be a hit and run. A bunt rating for Kubek, though he has a 5, a 16 to 19 is a bunt. That is a 13, no play. So O'Toole will go ahead and he will pitch. That is a 4-1, and that is an error, an E question mark. This is an error chance. This is an error chance. So now we got to see if an error will occur. Kubek gets to roll. A 1-4, and that is a G3. That is a ground ball to first. That is a ground ball to first. The first baseman is Coleman. Gordy Coleman has an error rating of 7. We now check the die roll, and that is a 4. That's going to be an error, and that's going to be a ground ball error. That is a 4. So now we'll go to the rating here, and I'll bring up the error chart. It is an E. It's a G3. So it is an E question mark. And that is going to be a number 1. And it says boots ball, grounded booted, all runners advance 1 base. So that is a definite error on Gordy Coleman as he boots the grounder. As you can see here, G, and to first base, and it is. Okay. And he boots the ball, grounder booted, all runners advance 1 base. So we already have our first error of the game, which means Richardson will go to second and Kubek will go to first. That is an error. That is an E3. And runners at first and second. That is the first error on the Reds. So here we go. So there you have your error right there. You have your first error that you see how that works. And now we'll bring up the next batter, and that will be Mr. Maris. Maris is 1 for 1. He got a base hit his first time up. So Jim O'Toole looks at Gordy Coleman, wondering how he made the team by making a simple error at first. We do roll the strategy roll. That is a 13. Again, nothing happening on the strategy roll. So O'Toole will get the pitch. O'Toole, a 4-1. And again, it comes up the same thing, an error question mark. So again, another possible error. Maris will get to swing. That is a 1-2. And now it is an S3. This is not an error. This is again an infield single possibility. This is an infield single. So because it's an S3, there won't be an error. but it is, again, a runner chance. So it's an S3. The ball is hit to Coleman, and Maris got on base the last time this way. His base running rating is a 4. The runners will automatically move one base automatically. So it's a slow rolling grounder to first. Coleman gets it. He's going to go ahead, coming over as O Toole to try to get the out. A 1-4, Maris is safe. It is a 2, and he is. He beats it out again, and we got bases loaded with nobody out here in the bottom of the third. So that goes as an infield single, and bases are loaded, and guess who's coming up to bat? Yeah, that guy. Bases loaded here at bottom of the third. Yankees lead 1-0. Richardson on at third, Kubek at second, Maris at first, and here comes the Mick. Mantle sacrifice fly his last time out. Still nobody out. The infield is going to come in. They're going to try to get an infield, try to turn a double play from home to first, as the Yankees still lead this game 1-0. So let's see what the Mick does here, people. We still roll a strategy roll, and that is a 3. Bobby Richardson has a attempt rating of 2. The only way it would have been a chance of a steal a home, which I don't think he would have done anyway here, but we would have done it if the case did occur. He needed to be a 5, and it needs to be a 1. It's the only way you can do it. Subtract it. So, no play happening. So O'Toole will pitch to Mantle. O'Toole, a 2-4. That is a hit by pitch. Mantle has a 0. O'Toole is a -5. That's a 7. It's not going to hit him. So Mantle does go ahead and get the swing. That is a 1-6. And that is going to be a star line 5. And that's going to be a fly ball to center. So Mantle hits a fly ball to center, another fly out. So that's going to be the first out. Mantle, a sacrifice fly rating of 1. That is a 4. He does not bring in Richardson. So again, Richardson, another chance to score, has a base running rating of 4. It's a fly ball to center. Veda Pensone has a -2 arm. So Richardson will score on a 1 or a 2, a 3, 4, 5. He holds a 6. There could be an out. It is a 1. Richardson will score. He will come in on the sacrifice fly. Kubek and Maris hold. There is 1 out, but the Yankees now take a 2-0 lead. So again, Mantle brings in gets an RBI on a sacrifice fly. How about that? Mantle can't get the home run, but he does bring another run in. The only way Kubek could have tried to get the third is, according to the rules, is if a sacrifice fly is done off of Mantle's card. Automatically, that will hold. So now there is 1 out. The infield will move to double play depth now with runners at first and second, and the batter is Berra. Berra is 1 for 1. He got a base hit his last time up. Runners still at first and second, now 2-0 Yankees. We roll the strat. That is a 1. Kubek has an attempt rating of 1, a 0. The 1 you divide that by, I don't think he gets that. I'm pretty sure he does. Attempt divided by 2, rounding down, stealing third. Well, a 1 divided by 2 is a 0.5. He will not get a chance to steal third, even on a 1. Because you round down. So that would be a 0. So Kubek is not going to try to steal third. So now O'Toole, he will pitch a 1-5. That is a blank. So nothing on O'Toole's card. We go straight to Berra's card. That is a 1-3. And now we have a question mark 8. This is what I call a power hit to center field. Against the lefty, Berra, a 1-3 would be a single. A 4-5 is a home run. That is a 6. He just missed it. Remember, home runs in the hitters column in the power chart for the hitters are not adjusted by the stadium remark at all. So even if this was a +1, and that is a 6, that wouldn't matter. It is still not going to be a home run. This only adjusts the hitter's mark here, not up here. So that is a 6. So instead, that's going to be a fly out to center field. That is 2 outs. Now, Kubek, Let's see if he has a chance to go. Kubek has a base running rating of 4. On a fly ball to center, where is that here? On flyouts, runner on second to third, a fly ball to center is a -2. So this now becomes a 2, a base running rating of 2. Center fielder is Pensone, and center fielder has a -2 arm, so that would actually become a 0. So because that's a 0, Kubek is not going to go to third base. He will automatically stay at second. And there are now 2 outs. 2 big flyouts, and here is Skowron. Skowron is 0 for 1. He popped out his last time up. Rolling a strategy roll again. Nothing happening on a 17. Skowron won't bunt. So Toole will go ahead and pitch. O'Toole, a 6-3. Error on a grounder. So now with a ground ball, it's a possible error. Skowron gets the swing. 5-3. And that is a double star 5. And that is going to be a fly ball to center field off of O'Toole's card. Of course, it's not an error on a grounder. So the Yankees get bases loaded, and they get fly out, fly out, fly out, and they only get 1 run in on a sacrifice fly. 1 run on 2 hits and 1 error, which is one of the reasons why they had the error, one of the reasons why they got the hit. So after 3, it is 2-0 now in favor of the Yankees. So the fans here at Yankee Stadium are a little bit perturbed, thinking they should have gotten more than 1 stinking run. We will now go to the top of the 4th inning. Whitey Ford, the chairman of the board, is back on the mound. And it will be Don Blasingame leading off for the Reds. He is 0 for 1. Hope everybody is enjoying this demonstration game. Opening day, 1 week away. Ford will go ahead and make a pitch, and that is 1-4, and that is a wild pitch, but there's nobody on base, so it's automatically ball 1. We roll again on the pitcher card. 5-2. 5-2 is a K, possible strikeout. Against the lefty, Blasingame is a 6. That is a 13. It is too high, so that becomes a blank, and Blasingame will get the swing. A 3-1 on Blasingame is a G3, and that's just a ground ball to first. And Skowron will go ahead and make the play on his own. And there is 1 out. Next up is Casco. Casco is 1 for 1, singled, and then got caught. Singled and then got thrown out at first on a strike him out, throw him out. Whitey Ford will make the pitch. 2-2, and that is a home run question mark. So this is a home run chance, not a home run result. A home run chance, you go here to the home run question mark section on the pitcher. Against a righty, Casco is a 1 or a 2 for Ford to make a mistake. That is a 10. So it's not going to be a mistake by Ford, so this does not fall in there, so that becomes a blank. So then you go to Addy Casco's card. Casco is a 5-2, and he gets an S4, and that's going to be a single past the second baseman Richardson, and the Reds will get a runner on base. Casco gets his second hit of the game. He's now 2 for 2. Next up is Darth Vader. Pensone struck out his first time up. Infield goes a double play depth. Casco has an attempt of run at steal. -1 is a 0. Pensone is a strikeout rating of 6. So pretty much a 1, 2, or 3, a hit and run possibility. And we know what happened the last time we did that. And they learned this time. This time the strategy roll comes up at 13, so this time there won't be 1. The chairman of the board will make a pitch. And that is 2-5. And that is a walk against the lefty. Pensone is an 8. -2 from the ballpark is a 6. The 17 is too high, no walk. Pensone gets the swing, 1-6, and that's going to be a single S4. That's going to be a base hit for Pensone. So now we go to this chart. In S4, we check this chart here. S4, to get from first and third, the base running rating of the runner has to be between a 3 or a 6. Casco has a 3. It's good enough, and he will make it to third. So Pensone hits it past second base. And we have runners at the corners, and the Reds now finally have something going on. So they got runners at the corners here with one out. And that will bring up the ambassador. Robinson is 0 for 1. Posting the benches and relievers on the screen. I don't have the room, unfortunately. I don't. I know. That's the one thing that David Baseball Demos does. He posts the benches and all that. I do not really have the room, and to do that would actually be a bit of a little bit more extra work for me to do it, because then I have to make the benches, get the roster, post the rosters and everything. It works, I guess, for David Baseball Demos because he only does this once a week. But since I do this every day, it takes still a while. So no, I will not be posting benches and relievers on the screen. Unfortunately, I won't be doing that. Remember, guys got to realize I'm one of the only guys out there that posts the cards like this. So you got to realize that I'm one of the only guys that actually posts it where you actually see the field of play and the runners and runner advancement. I'm one of the only guys that does that. Okay. A few that have now started to do it. Of course, David Baseball Demos does it now. Okay. He goes ahead and makes it visual. Some people just don't do that at all. So I don't have the room. If I did, I would. So we got runners at the corners, first and third with one out. The Yankees are going to play the infield at double play depth. The reason why, Robinson has a GDP of 3 and Ford is a +1. So they got a very good chance to get a double play here, especially with Richardson, who's got a +2 pivot rating, and Kubek has a 0. So you got a very good chance here to get a double play. So the Yankees are going to play the infield at double play depth, not in. We still roll a strat though. Strategy roll is a 13. Nothing happening with Casco. Pensone is a 3. -1 is a 2. So he doesn't get the jump, and 13 is too high for any chance of a bunt. So Robinson will swing away. Ford, a 3-3. And that comes up a K. That is a strikeout chance. Against the lefty, Robinson is a 6. That is a 2. He got him. He struck him out. And that is a big K for the chairman. And that is his third strikeout. 2 down. That is a big K to get Frank Robinson in that situation. Next up will be Post. Post is 0 for 1, 2 outs, but now the infield can play back. Casco on at third, Pensone on at first. Roll the strategy roll again. That is a 15. Nothing happening. It doesn't fit into any of the strategy rolls. Whitey Ford will make the pitch. And that is a 2-4. A 2-4. Now we have a K and in parentheses a W. It is a strikeout chance, but if Ford is tired, that becomes a walk chance. But Ford, of course, this is his 14th batter, so that becomes a K chance. Post against the lefty is a 13. That is an 11, and Whitey Ford struck him out. Strikeout number 4, and that retires the side. No runs, 2 hits for the Reds. The Reds threaten, but Whitey Ford takes care of business. And it will remain 2-0 in favor of the Yankees. All that knock is the rigging of all Reds losses. You're going to get a lot to see your Reds. Remember, the one thing about 1961, only 18 teams in the league. So we're going to see a lot of all these teams, since there were only 18 teams in baseball that year. 10 in the American League and 8 in the National League. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Elston Howard will lead off for the Yankees. He walked his first time up. And I don't know why I'm rolling a strategy roll, because there's nobody on base. Jim O'Toole will go ahead and make a pitch. And that is a 1-1. 1-1 is a K, strikeout chance. Against the lefty, Howard is an 8. That is a 7. He got him, and that is going to be a K and a strikeout for O'Toole. And that's his first. He finally gets a K. Next up is Cleet Boyer, and he grounded into a double play his last time up. O'Toole will make a pitch. 6-4. That again, 6-4 is a split chance. Against the righty, it's a strikeout chance. Against the left-handed batter, it's an automatic out. Boyer is a right-handed batter, so this becomes a strikeout chance. Against the left-handed pitcher, Boyer is a 10 or lower to strike out. The 5 is good. O'Toole got him, struck him out. Second strikeout for O'Toole. And now they'll bring up Ford. Ford is 0 for 1 with 2 outs. O'Toole will go ahead and make a pitch to Ford. O'Toole, a 6-4. And again, 6-4, the same result as a 6-4. Only this time, Ford is a left-handed batter. And that is a double star, which means that's going to be an automatic out. So now you go to check O'Toole's rating. Roll, it's a 2. And Ford goes ahead and grounds 1 to short. And that will end the inning. And it is a 1-2-3 inning for O'Toole. So after 4 innings in the books, the Yankees still have a 2-0 lead on the Reds. We go to the top of the 5th inning. I have already decided how the postseason will work for 1961. I will be taking the top 5 teams in the American League. I was thinking of divisionizing the leagues, making an East and a West in both leagues. I was very considering doing an East and a West in the American and National Leagues. It would have been a 5-team divisions in the American League and 4 teams in the National League. I pretty much decided no, I will keep the leagues as they are, but I will take the top 5 in the American League, the top 4 in the National League. However, there is a caveat. They must have a winning record. If they do not have a winning record, I will modify the playoffs at that time. Must have a winning record, and no, a 500 record does not get you in. You must be at least 82-80 in the American League. And, of course, remember, the National League also only played 154 games in the National League. So you must be 82-80 in the American League and at least 79 and 75 in the I think 78 and 76 in the National League in order to get in. If not, I'll modify the playoffs. So it's possible we may have a wild card round. We may not. We may go straight to division series. Who knows? So we're now on the top of the 5th. Leading off for the Reds will be Gordy Coleman. Coleman is 0 for 1. Yankees in the field. That's why I use this marker to let me know which to look at here on the theme card. I was thinking of doing one and then just slipping over, but the problem is when you use dry erase, it could erase it. You could lose it. So we got Whitey Ford pitching, and that is a 6-5. A 6-5 is going to be a K. So a strikeout chance against the lefty. Coleman is a 10. No adjustment from Yankee Stadium. That is a 7. He got him. He strikes out Coleman, and that is the 3rd consecutive strikeout by the chairman of the board. And, of course, may he rest in peace. He recently passed away. That'll bring up Freeze. Freeze is got a base hit his first time up. He's 1 for 1. So 1 out. Let's see what happens here. That is a 5-1. A 5-1 is an RP. We have our first range play. Now we got to check to see what happens. Now it goes to the Yankee defense. It is a range play. So now we go to the batter card. And that is a 1-6. A 1-6 on Freeze's card is an S6. But this is now a ball hit to short. So it's a range play to shortstop. The shortstop for the Yankees is Tony Kubek. Excellent shortstop range. Makes the occasional error, but his range here is a 5. So Kubek has a 1-5 chance of making a play and taking a single away from Freeze. So a 1-5, it's an out. A 6, it's still a base hit. It is a 2, so a nice play there by Kubek. He gets it, and he throws to first to get the out, and that is 2 away. So now you see how range plays work. The one thing about this game here in Inside Pitch, unlike some other games, you will only have a range play or an error. You will never have an error on a range play error in the game. You will not have that. It's either a range play or an error. They don't have it. Where like in Stratomatic, you can fail a range play and there can be an error after that. I've noticed that. That's one thing about this game. You either have a range play or an error. You cannot have both. I've never seen an error on a failed range on a range play. I've not seen it. There is no error check on it. Next batter will be Zimmerman. There are now 2 outs. Zimmerman is 0 for 1. Whitey Ford will make the pitch, and that is a 5-6. A 5-6. Now we come to the at sign. This is at the park. So this means that we go straight. We now go to the ballpark card. A 5-6 means at, and we now go to Yankee Stadium. Now we use Yankee Stadium's matrix here. This is the first time we're going to the ballpark. We roll on the Yankee Stadium card. It is a 5-3. And a 5-3 is an HR8 in parentheses. This is a home run to center field. However, the batter must be capable of hitting a home run, and it still has to fit into his home run column. It's a home run to center field. But against the lefty, Zimmerman has zeros. He did not have a home run at all here. So even though this comes up as an HR8 home run to center, against the lefty, Zimmerman is a 0. He cannot hit a home run here, and that's just going to be a fly out to center field, and that will end the inning. 1, 2, 3, go the Reds. Yankees still have a 2-0 lead here as we're now halfway through this demo game. Bottom of the 5th. Normally in today's baseball, Jim O'Toole and Whitey Ford would be yanked already and we'd be going to the bullpen. This is the 60s, much different time of pitchers. Bobby Richardson leads off for the Yankees. He is 2 for 2. He's got 2 singles. O'Toole hasn't been able to get him out yet. So let's see what the Reds going to do here in this game. Jim O'Toole will make a pitch, and it is a 1-2. A 1-2 is a blank. So we go to Richardson's card. Richardson, a 3-2, and that's going to be a single S9. That's a base hit to right field. Richardson gets his 3rd hit of the game. He has also scored both runs for the Yankees as well. So Richardson gets on base for the 3rd time. He is 3 for 3. He has scored both runs. How about that? Infield will go to double play depth. Dragon King joins us here. Yep, a nice demo game between the Reds and the Yankees, as you guys can follow along and see how the mechanics are. Here's Kubek. Kubek is 0 for 2. He grounded out and he reached on an error. The Reds have 1 error in this game so far. Of course, we are checking strategy roll. Strategy rolls are rolled as long as the difference in the score is lower than the inning rating. So it's a 2-run difference, but it's a 5. But they're only in the 5th inning. So the 2 is still lower than the 5, so you still roll a strategy roll. And that is a 1. Richardson does get the steal. So he has a 2 and a 0. So he does get the steal. Stolen base rating is 11. O'Toole, however, -4, which makes him a 7. And Zimmerman's catcher rating is a +1 arm. So that would be a 1-8. That would be a 1-8 for Richardson to go to second base. As I said, I am using the strategy roll hard and fast. If this was a regular season game, I would not be doing it. So we're going to send Richardson on a 1-8. He'll steal second base. And it's a 9 and he's thrown out. And there will be 1 out. As I said, I'm using the strategy roll hard and fast so you can see exactly how the strategy roll works. If this was opening day or this was a regular season game, I would have called it off. That is why I use the strategy roll as a bench coach suggestion, not hard and fast. Some people do use it hard and fast. That's fine. But there you see the reason why I consider the strategy roll as a suggestion. But we're using it hard and fast just because this is a demonstration game. Clee baseball fan is here now. So now there is 1 out with Kubek on it first at the plate. So now O'Toole pitch with the bases empty. O'Toole, a 6-2. And it is a range play. So again, we'll use a range play. Another reason why I'm showing the mechanics of the game for anybody who has to see it. So it's a range play, so Kubek will get the swing. And that is a 5-3. A 5-3 is a G4. This is a hit ball to second base. Second baseman is Blasingame. His range is only a 2. So a 1-2, he'll make the play. It is a 1. He does. Nice play by Blasingame. He gets it. And he's going to throw to first to get Kubek. And that is a ground out to second for 2 down. Exactly, Dragon King. I mean, there are some people that use it hard and fast, maybe to try to generate statistics and things like that. You can, if you're trying to generate stats, you know, if you're doing like a season replay, I guess it makes, for one team, I guess it could make sense. But I use it as a suggestion. But no, if this was a regular season game, I would not have done that. Jim O'Toole, very good against stolen bases, a -4. 2 outs, and now the batter will be Maris. Maris has got 2 hits today. He's 2 for 2. So 2 men on base. O'Toole on the mound. 2-0 Yankees here at Yankee Stadium. O'Toole, a 2-6. A 2-6 ET question mark. This is an error on a throw. So now it was a possible error, but a possible throwing error. And that does make changes here on the batter card, depending on what we have. Maris has gotten on base twice due to error chances, but on error on a grounder and error chances. Now an error on a throw. Maris, a 3-4, and that is a G3. So now it's a possible throwing error. So it's a ground ball to first, and the ball is handled by Coleman. Coleman has an, so now we got to see if it's an error on a throw. Coleman has an error rating of 7. He already made an error in this game. And that is a 1, and he's going to make a throwing error. Coleman's going to make another error in this game. Holy cow. Now, it is an error on a throw on a G3, not an S3. So it's not a single and an extra base. So we already know it's a throwing error. Now on an error on a throw, you now check the range play of the player who is receiving the throw. In this case, on a G3, the pitcher is coming over to try to cover the play. Jim O'Toole's range is a 4. On a 1-4, O'Toole will not prevent the ball from getting past him. It is a 1, so O'Toole, it's a bad throw made by Coleman. O'Toole does prevent the ball from getting past him. It takes him off the bag, though. So that is only a 1 base error. So we go here, error on a throw, G number 6. Throwing error with potential for advancing another base on bad throw. Go through steps below, and if possible, double play, check for throwing errors on the fielder, and then the pivot man. So here we say roll 1d6, check against the range of the errant throw receiver. If higher than his range, step 2. It is not higher than his range, so otherwise he kept the poor throw from getting by him, thus making it only a 1 base error. So because it's a bad throw, it took him off the bag. Maris is safe on an error. It is an E3, and that is the second error on the Reds. So he is safe. Exactly, Dragon King. You're correct. A 1-8 is a bad percentage. I would not have attempted a steal on that. So now, once again, Gordy Coleman commits his second error, and Jim O'Toole is looking at him and says, you know what? You're going to owe everybody steak dinners tonight because obviously you don't know how to play first base, Coleman. So that allows this guy to come up again with runners on base, the Mick. Mantle has gotten 2 RBIs in this game, both on sacrifice flies. He sacrificed fly to right and to center. Now with 2 outs, Mantle again gets a chance to hit with a runner on base. So 2 outs. Strategy rolls are still rolled, although Maris, though, has an N. So there's no way he can go on a hit and run or an error. However, O'Toole does have pickoff ratings, so you still have to roll to see if there's a pickoff. Mantle has a bunt rating of 3. It is a 3, so no pickoff, no nothing happening at all. O'Toole will go ahead and pitch to Mantle. So O'Toole will pitch, and that is a 5-3. A 5-3 is a walk plus. Against the lefty, Mantle is a 16. That makes that a 26. You automatically know that's going to be a walk. You don't even have to check the rating there, even though Yankee Stadium is a -2, and he walks Mantle instead. So it's a walk, and that will be ball 4. And now we have runners at first and second. And that is the second walk given up by O'Toole. So now 2 outs, and here is Berra. Berra is 1 for 2. Runners still at first and second for the Yanks. Still rolling the strategy roll because O'Toole still has pickoff chances. That is a 2, nothing happening. Maris, of course, is staying at second base. O'Toole will now pitch to Berra. Runners at first and second. Again, the fans here at Yankee Stadium hoping for something good. O'Toole with the pitch, a 1-5. That is a blank, nothing happening there. So we go straight to Berra's card. Berra, a 4-6, and that is going to be a double star 1. O'Toole will get out of it. It's a star line 1, and we go to O'Toole's star line. That's going to be a ground ball to third, and that'll get taken care of by Freeze, and he'll throw to first to get Berra since Berra is the slower runner. He'll throw to first to get Berra, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit, an error, and a couple of walks, second error. But the Yankees still have a 2-0 lead after 5. As you can see, the one thing about inside pitch, no charts. The only chart that's used is for bunting. Everything is run by the dice. So no charts. The cards tell you where the ball is hit to, and the dice will tell you what the result of the play will be concerning base running and such. No charts resolve a play. As I said, the only charts that do is the bunt chart and the squeeze bunt charts. These help you resolve the range plays, the errors, and of course, anything else for the die rolls and such. That's all that will do. This does not, there are no charts, okay? And everything is rolled by the dice. That's all there is. 2 outs, you take the slowest runner for the out. I do. I mean, I can roll to second. Doesn't matter. If there's an out, it's an out. If you want to say he threw to second, that's fine. I take the slowest runner. You know, Berra's a 2. The other guy's a 4, so it's hit the third. I'm going to say he throws the first to get the out. It would be easier to get Berra in this case. You know, either way. I mean, I still could have rolled. With runners at first and second. I still could have rolled, on here to see where the ball was hit to see where it was. But in this case, with the final out, it really didn't matter. We're going to go to the top of the 6th. So Yankees lead 2-0. Pretty much a lackluster game in a way, but a lot of everything happening, so that's good to see. Errors, range plays, that kind of thing. Leading off for the Reds will be the pitcher, Jim O'Toole. He'll hit. This is the 60s, not 2020. He'll go ahead and hit. Pinch hitting did occur, but usually in the very late innings. Usually in the very late innings, pinch hitters occurs. Plus, it is only the 6th inning, so I wouldn't do a pinch hitter here anyway. The chairman will roll a 3-6. And as chairman, against a right-handed batter is a blank. Against the lefty is an automatic out. Toole is a switch hitter. Against the lefty, he would be hitting right. So against a right-handed batter, that is a blank. O'Toole gets the swing. A 4-4, and that's going to be a double star 6, a star line 6. We go check Whitey Ford, and that's going to be a ground out to third. So 1 out, and the batter is Blasingame. Blasingame is 0 for 2. Ford will go ahead and make a pitch, and that is a 3-6, and a 3-6 again is a switch. Again, against the lefty, against a left-handed batter, that's an automatic out. Against the righty, it's a blank. Blasingame is a left-handed batter. This time, he does get the star line out, and that's going to be also a ground ball to third. So Clint Boyer getting a lot of work so far in the inning. And now here's Casco. Casco is 2 for 2. He's got 2 singles. Ford hasn't figured out a way to get Casco out. So Ford will make a pitch. 2-1. That is a range play. So a range play here. So we now know that Casco is going to make a chance, gets the swing. And it's a 3-1. It's a fly ball to right field. So it's a range play, a fly ball to right. It's a fly ball to right field. The right fielder for the Yankees is Maris. Maris was a terror at the plate, but he was kind of pedestrian in right field. He only had a 2 range. So a 1 or a 2, he'll make the play out there. A 3, 4, 5, or 6, this is going to be a base hit. It is a 3. That's going to drop. That's going to be a base hit. Now, on fly balls to the outfield on failed range plays, you roll a die again. A 1 to 4, it is a single. A 5 to 6, it is a double. So it's either a 1 to 4 is an S9, a 5 or 6, it's a D9. It is a 6. So Casco goes ahead, pretty much maybe hit it over his head, and Casco is going to have himself a double. So he gets his 3rd hit of the game. So Casco is 3 for 3, and Richardson is 3 for 3. So again, the Reds have a runner on second. Here comes Darth Vader. Pensone is 1 for 2. He got a single his last time up. Still 2 outs. Can Pensone come through with a big hit here? We do roll a strategy roll still, mostly because Ford does have pickoff ratings. Casco is a 1. -1 is a 0. So there's not going to be a chance. There's no hit and run because I don't hit and run with runners on second anyway. Okay. And they're not going to, and there's no bunting with 2 outs, but you still roll to see if Ford can get a pickoff. So a 20 is what he needs. He doesn't get it. So it's a normal play. So Ford will make the pitch. And that is a 1-2. A 1-2 is an S1 in parentheses. That would be a base hit if Ford is tired. He is not. He's only pitched to 20 batters. His batter fatigue rating is 30, so that becomes a blank. So Pensone does get a chance to swing. Pensone a 6-2, and that's going to be a star line 1, and that's going to be a slow rolling grounder to second, taken care of there by Richardson. Throws to first to retire the side. No runs and a hit for the Reds, as they're getting base runners, but they're not cashing in. We go to the bottom of the 6th here in this demo game. Leading off for the Yankees in the bottom of the 6th will be Bill Moose Skowron. Skowron is 0 for 2. Yankees lead 2-0 here. Bottom of the 6th inning in this demo game here at Old Yankee Stadium. O Toole, 5-4. And we go to his card, and that is a W, which is a walk. Against the lefty, Skowron is a 6. -2 from the ballpark makes him a 4. That is a 20. It is too high. He doesn't walk, so he gets the swing. A 2-3, and Skowron hits a split. Against a right-handed pitcher, it would be a fly out to center. But O'Toole is a left-handed pitcher. And against a lefty, that's going to be a double to center. So Skowron goes ahead and gets him smacked a leadoff double. O'Toole can pitch to 30 batters before fatigue, and he is getting there. He still has about 6 batters left before he tires. Next up for the Yankees will be Howard, and he is 0 for 1, but he did walk. Runner infield will stay back. Strategy rolls are still in effect. Skowron, though, has an attempt of N, so we can't no hit and run, no hit and run, no anything there. Howard cannot bunt, but O'Toole does have pickoff chance, so we still roll. And that is a 20. So that is a pickoff chance on a 20. So now O'Toole gets a chance to throw to second base to pick off Skowron. You roll the D20 again. A 1 to 2 is a balk, so the runners advance 1 base. A 3 to 4 is a pickoff. Skowron is out. A 5 is a pickoff error. All runners advance 1 base. A 6 or higher, nothing happens. He gets back safely. That is a 10. He gets back. So there you saw a pickoff attempt. But it's a 10. Skowron got back to second, so nothing happens. So now O'Toole will now concentrate on Howard. O'Toole will make a pitch, and that is a 6-3. and that is an error on a grounder. Well, the Reds have committed 2 errors in this game. Error on a grounder. Now we see what Howard does. It is a 5-3, and a 5-3 against the left. We had Elson Howard split. Against the right-handed batter, that would be a ground ball to short. But against the right-handed pitcher, I should say. Against the left-handed pitcher, that is an S6. So that is now, of course, an error on a grounder. On S1 to S6, there is no error. That's going to be a possible infield single. So it's an S6. So the error on a grounder is taken away. And then I'll go ahead and show you the chart. So here we got error on a grounder over here. And you can see number 4 on S1, on pitcher, catcher, first, second, third, short, number 4. And you go to 4, infield single. No error check as no error can be made. Roll 1d6 versus hitter's base running rating. If roll is higher, hitter is out, otherwise single. All runners advance 1 base. I should have been showing this chart every time that was coming up. So all runners advance 1 base. So we know that this is not an error, but it's going to be a possible infield single. Scalron automatically makes third. Howard doesn't have that speed. It has a base running rating of 1 or 2. A 1 or 2, he still makes it to first. And he does. He still makes it to first. It's a slow rolling grounder to the shortstop. Casco fires to first, but Howard will beat the throw. And now there are runners in the corners with nobody out. So that goes as an infield single, and the batter will be Boyer. What I love about this game is you can see a walk check and then visualize the batter going out of the zone to poke a double. Yes, like I said, I understand people have caveats when it comes to splits and such, and the runner advancement. But as I said, you see in this game, you actually see everything. You see it. You actually can visualize a good pitch being pitched, a good pitch, a bad pitch, a great play made in the field. You can actually see it. So runners at first and third, nobody out. The Reds are going to call the infield in. They don't want any more batters to cross. Here's Boyer. Boyer is 0 for 2. Boyer is 0 for 2 here. So let's see what we got here. So we're still rolling a strategy roll. It's still active. So nothing with Scalron. Elston Howard, the only thing he can do is hit and run. That is a 12. Nothing will happen on the play. So no strategy. So now O'Toole will pitch to Boyer. This is a big chance here for the Yankees to get some runs. O'Toole, a 3-6. That is a K. That's a strikeout chance. Against the lefty, Boyer needs a 10 or lower. That's a 5. O'Toole struck him out. Another big K by O'Toole. And that is his 3rd strikeout of the game. As he gets Boyer. And now here comes Ford. Ford will hit. He is 0 for 2. Ford will come up and bat. This is the 60s, not 2022. Infield is still going to play in. They're not going to take a chance on a double play on a failed double play. So O'Toole will go ahead and make a pitch. We'll do a strategy roll first. That is an 11, nothing happening. Nothing from Elston Howard and nothing from Scalron. O'Toole will make a pitch. And that is a 1-4. That is a blank. Nothing here on O'Toole's card, so we go to Ford's card. Ford gets the swing. 5-6. And that's going to be a ground ball right back to the pitcher. It's a ground ball back to the pitcher. So the infield is in on a ground ball to the pitcher. So with a grounder to the pitcher with the infield in, the base running rating of Scalron the base running ratings on third are reduced by 2. Scalron has a base running rating of 2. It becomes a 0. He cannot score at all, so he automatically holds a third. Toole, however, since the infield is in, there's no double play. So the only play can be made to first. Howard will go to second base, and the throw goes to first to get O'Toole, and there are now 2 outs. So Ford grounds it. So pretty much Ford grounds it right back to O'Toole. Scalron knows he's a dead duck. He stays at third, and the throw goes to first. The only double play you can have on the infield in is home to first with the bases loaded. That is it. but the runner does advance. So now runners at second and third with 2 outs. The infield will now move back. And now the batter is Richardson. Richardson is 3 for 3. He's got 3 singles off of O Toole. This is a big at bat here for the Yankees and a big batter for Jim O'Toole. He is 3 for 3, 3 singles, and Richardson has scored twice. Even for a demo game, we got a good one here. Strategy roll still rolling. That's a 19. Richardson has a bunt rating of 5. Now, if we were playing this hard and fast, on a bunt rating of 5, a 16 to 19, he would bunt. But over here, bunt, check chart, never with 2 outs. So, of course, you would not bunt with 2 outs. Now, of course, you can say, forget it, I'm going to try a squeeze play here, but you got a bad chance of doing it. So, no bunt. So, Richardson will go ahead and swing away. O'Toole, a 5-2. That is a range play at the park. RP at sign. This is a range play at the park, which means we're now going to have a range play, but we go to Yankee Stadium now to find out what's going to happen. So now we go to the ballpark. Yankee Stadium, a range play at the park. We roll. And that is a 4-1. A 4-1 at Yankee Stadium is a G6. That is a ground ball to short. The shortstop for the Reds is Eddie Casco. He has a range of 3. The infield is normal with 2 outs. It's back, so he gets his full range. So it's a ground ball to short. A 1, 2, or 3, Casco will make the play. It is a 6. It gets by him. That's going to be a base hit. He couldn't get there. So that becomes a G6. That becomes an S6 instead of a failed range play. So here's your range chart. And a G6 failed range play on a successful range check roll here becomes an S6. So that is an S6 off a failed range play. So we know Scalron will score. And on an S6, second to home, a 3 or a 6 runner at second will score. Howard is a 2. But with 2 outs, he becomes a 3. So that becomes a 3. So a 3 to 6, he will score. So that's going to be a 2 RBI single for Bobby Richardson. And the Yankees will now lead it 4-0. Stadium cheers. Yay! Bobby Richardson is 4 for 4 today. He has been excellent. And that is a 2 RBI single by Bobby Richardson. And the Yankees now have a 4-0 lead here in this demo game. Whitey Ford may be pitching a shutout, but I think Bobby Richardson's going to get player of the game honors for this one. Jim O'Toole can't believe it. Casco couldn't make the play. And the Yankees now have a 4-0 lead here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Next batter for the Yanks will be Kubek. Kubek is 0 for 3. He did reach on an error. O'Toole is beginning to run out of batters. He only got 2 more before he gets tired. But let's see what happens here. Strategy rolls are still on. It's still a 4-run deficit with 6th inning, so you still roll a strategy roll. Let's see. It is a 20. O'Toole does get a chance to pick off Richardson. A 1 to 2 would be a balk. A 3 to 4 is a pickoff. A 5 is a pickoff error. And that is a 6. Nothing happens. Richardson barely gets back. And now O'Toole will now pitch to Kubek. O'Toole, and that is a 6-1. And a 6-1 is a walk chance. Against the lefty, Kubek has a 5. -2 is a 3. The 16 is too high. Kubek will get the swing. Kubek, a 4-6, and he hits an L4. That is a line drive hit right to second, right into Blasingame's glove, and that will retire the side. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Yankees. We've completed 6 in this demo game. It is now 4-0 in favor of the Bronx Bombers. We now go to the top of the 7th. Whitey Ford has a 4-run lead here. Kevin Hayes joins us here at the demo game. Leading off for the Reds will be the ambassador, Mr. Frank Robinson. Robinson is 0 for 2. One of the greatest of all time. And he gets to go up against Ford here. So top of the 7th, Yankees lead 4-0 in this demonstration game. Let's see what Ford's got. Plenty of batters yet to deal with. He's got plenty of batters yet. Plenty of gas in the tank. Ford, a 2-5. A 2-5 is a W. That is a walk chance. Against the lefty, Robinson has a 16. -2 is a 14. That is a 5. And Robinson will draw the base on balls, and he will go to first. So the Reds do get the leadoff runner on. And that is the first walk given up by Ford. He only had 89 of them in 61. But he drops the first walk issued by Ford. So Robinson will go to first, and the Yankees will go to double play death. Here comes Post. Post is 0 for 2. Now strategy rolls are now off. Since it's now a 4, it's now 4 is the difference. Plus 7 makes it 11. That's higher than 10. Strategy rolls are now off. You no longer have to roll the strategy roll anymore. You still could if you want, but now if you're the Reds, you're not thinking about stealing and bunting. You got to get base runners. So Ford will make a pitch, and that is a 5-3. 5-3 is a K, strikeout chance. Against the lefty, Post is a 13. Nothing from Yankee Stadium. That is a 15. He does not strike out. Then we go to the postcard. That is a 4-4. And a 4-4 is a star line 6. And that's going to be a ground ball to third. So let's see if Post ground or double play. So Post is a 3 GDP. Ford is a +1. The infield at double play depth +1, which is a 5. Second baseman Richardson's a +2. Now that would be a 7, but of course you still can only go as high as 5. So 1 to 5, Post grounds out around the horn. And he does. That's a 4. So Post grounds at the third. And there is Boyer to Richardson to Scalron. Double play. 2 outs. Another double play hit into by the Reds. 2 men down. I will let you know in one moment there, Mr. Hayes. So now 2 outs. And here comes Gordy Coleman. He gets a couple of sarcastic cheers here from the Yankee Stadium crowd. He's committed 2 errors for the Reds, and committed 2 errors for the Reds in this game. He's got both errors for the Reds. So 2 men down. Top of the 7th. Whitey Ford will make the pitch, and that is a 3-4. A 3-4 is an @ sign, so we go at the ballpark. Here is Yankee Stadium. We now check the Yankee Stadium board and see what Coleman does. That is a 1-6, and a 1-6 at Yankee Stadium is a star line 5. So now we go to Whitey Ford's card. A 5 is a ground ball to first. That'll get taken care of by Scalron, and that will retire the side. So they face the minimum batters even with the walk. We are at the 7th inning stretch in the demo game. Sing, take me out to the ball game. I will be right back. Kevin Hayes asks, when does the 1961 season officially start? It will start next Monday. Yes, July 18th. You got the home run derby on that date of 2022, and you got the start of the 1961 season. When I do the demo game, we are 1 week away from it. The 61 season begins Monday night. It will be opening day, and it will be the Chicago White Sox taking on the Washington Senators. It's also the return of 10-minute ticker. It will be early win for the White Sox against Dick Donovan of the Senators, who actually was the ERA champ that year in 61. So, for those of you wondering when the season starts, it will begin next Monday night, July 18th, and it is April 10th, 1961. The White Sox at the Senators from historic Griffith Stadium. So don't miss it. We're starting the 61 season next week. Be there or be square. We go to the bottom of the seventh here in this demonstration game between the Cincinnati Reds and the New York Yankees. The Yankees have a 4-0 lead. And leading off for the Yankees here in the bottom of the seventh will be Roger Maris. Maris is 2 for 3. He's got 2 singles, but reached on an error. He's got an on-base percentage of 1,000 today. He's been on base all 3 times. O'Toole will be tired after Maris, but we're going to let him continue to pitch so you can see what happens when a pitcher is tired. So Jim O'Toole will pitch to Maris here to start the bottom of the seventh. A 3-1. And Jim O'Toole, a home run question mark. Well, I think we're pretty much going to find out what's going to happen here, though. A home run question mark. Against the lefty, Jim O'Toole is a 1-16. That is a 3. Do we really have to check the batter card? Yeah. So that is a 3, and that is going to be, so Jim O'Toole pitches a meatball over the plate. Maris against lefties is a 20. Well, we knew we were going to get one sooner or later. We just didn't know it was going to be Maris or Mantle. Kaboom! That ball is high. That ball is pretty deep, and that ball is pretty gone. That is a home run by Roger Maris. Stadium cheers. Yay! Well, you just saw Roger Maris go ahead and blast one of the 61 home runs he had that year, and he goes ahead and gets it, and that is going to be a 5-0 lead by the Yankees as Roger Maris goes ahead and sends that one deep into left field, and that one was way out of here. O'Toole just put that over the plate, and there was no way Maris was going to miss that. Home run by Roger Maris, and it is now 5-0 in favor of the Yankees, and now the batter is the Mick. Jim O'Toole is tired. I'm going to leave him out there, though, just because normally if this is a regular season game, O'Toole would be yanked now, but we're going to let him pitch a little longer here. This is the 60s, not 2020. Jim O'Toole did pitch 253 innings. So O'Toole will go ahead and pitch to Mantle. Mantle is 0 for 2. He has sacrificed fly twice. So O'Toole will go ahead and make the pitch. And that is a 6-5. A 6-5 on O'Toole's card is a strikeout chance. Against the lefty, Mantle is a 12. That is an 18. He does not strike out. Mantle does get to swing 3-5, and he hits a fly ball to center field. And that's not going to be too deep, and that will be an out, and that is 1 out. That is the third fly out by Mantle. He's hit him hard, but just not hard enough. This demo game is rigged. 1 out. Here comes Yogi Berra. He is 1 for 3. O'Toole is tired, which means now the parentheses do take effect on his card. O'Toole, 5-1. That is a range play, so now we go to Yogi Berra's card to see what the Reds do. Yogi Berra, a 3-5. That is a G6. So it's a ground ball to short, and the range is hit to Casco. Casco's range on his card is a 3. So a 1-3, and the infield is normal, so a 1-3, Casco will make the play. That is a 2. So a nice play by Casco. He gets it, and he throws to first to get the out, and that becomes a ground out to short, and there are 2 outs. Next up is Moose. Scouron is 1 for 3. He had a double his last time up. O'Toole will go ahead and make a pitch. And that is a 5-1. A 5-1 again is a range play. So again, another chance for the Reds defense. Scouron gets the swing. And that is a 3-2. A 3-2 is an L6. This is a line drive hit to short right now. And again, it's at the Casco. Casco's range is a 3. Can he make the play? No, this time he can't. So that's going to get by him, hit over his head, and that'll be a base hit for Scouron. This time he couldn't make that one. So a single for Scouron. A 2-out single there. And the next batter will be Howard. Elston Howard is 1 for 2. He singled his last time up, scored, and struck out and walked. Strategy rolls are off. So it's straight pitcher versus batter. O'Toole will go ahead and make the pitch to Howard. O'Toole with the pitch is a 6-1. That is a walk. That is a walk chance against the lefty. Howard is a 6. -2 from the ballpark is a 4. That is a 10. It is too high. Howard will swing the bat. 4-2. And Howard gets a base hit to center field. That's going to be a single to center. Now we check the card. Scouron, a base running rating of 2 with 2 outs is a 3. Cincinnati is in the field. A single to center to get first to third, -3. So that becomes a 0 because the center fielder is Pinzone and he has a -2 arm. So a single to center. So a 3 -3 is a 0. So Scouron can only make it to second base. Now, this is how we do it with this chart. I'm going to do that again, only this time I'm going to do it the long way. It's a single to center. A single to center on the chart, on this chart here, single to center, first to third. Now, first Scouron has a base running rating of 2. Becomes a 3 with 2 outs. So he has a 3 right now. On a single to center, -1. On a single to center to get from first to third, makes him a 2. Now we'll go to center field, and that is Pinzone. Pinzone has a -2 arm. So that -2 is now a 0. So there is no way he can get to third. He automatically stops at second. That is the long way of doing what I just did here with this card, with this little card I make up. So now you guys can see how that worked officially, utilizing it the long way. But this card automatically, I already know it's a -3. Okay, even with the 2 outs. So Scouron still stays at second. So it's a base hit for Howard. Runners at first and second. And now the batter is Boyer. Boyer is 0 for 3. Now there are 2 outs with runners at first and second. And the Yankees are eating the Reds' lunch, which I'm going to have here as soon as this game ends. So runners at first and second, no strategy rolls. O'Toole will stay out there. He will pitch. Pitch coming, and that is a 2-3. A 2-3 is an at sign, so this is at the park. We now go to Yankee Stadium. Yankee Stadium says 6-3, and that is going to be a G4. That's a ground ball to second base, taken care of by Blasingame. He'll throw to first to end the inning. 1 run on 3 hits, a solo bomb by Maris, and the Yankees now have a 5-0 lead here after 7. We now go to the top of the 8th in this demo game. Normally, a game like this, I probably would have been done with it by now. But since I'm explaining everything, for the demo game for the upcoming 61 year, okay, you already know that what could be happening. So we go to the top of the 8th inning, and Gene Freeze will lead it off for the Reds, and he is 1 for 2. Ford will stay out there, of course. So Ford will make a pitch. And that is a 6-6. 6-6. HBP, hit by pitch. Freeze has a 0. Whitey Ford a -8. So we're going to have to check the white die. We know there is no inside pitch, with no hit by pitch. Freeze, a 6-3. And Freeze on a 6-3 is a fly ball to center field. And that will be caught by Mantle for the out. One down. Here comes Jerry Zimmerman. Zimmerman is 0 for 2. I could pinch hit for him. I guess I could, couldn't I? Let's see. It's the 8th inning. Try to get something going on. Yeah, why not? I'm going to go ahead and pinch hit for Zimmerman. Zimmerman's going to come out. And it is the 8th. It is the 8th inning. So I'm going to go ahead and bring out Leo Cardenas. So Leo Cardenas is going to pinch it for Zimmerman. And taking over at catcher is going to be Johnny Edwards for the Reds. Everybody's available. I'm not using 25-man. I am not using 25-man rosters, okay, for this game. Everybody in the packs are all available. So everybody in the packs are available no matter what teams that we're at. I'm not using 25-man rosters. Anybody can come in. So Johnny Edwards will take over at catcher. So timeout while I go ahead and change the chart a bit. He's not as good at that position, but Reds want to try to win something here. So Edwards will take over at catcher. But here is Leo Cardenas, 308 average, 5 homers, 24 RBIs. He'll pinch hit against Ford. Leo Cardenas, another very good ball player. One out. Ford will make a pitch, and that is 6-4. 6-4 against is a split chance, and against the righty, Whitey Ford is a walk plus. Against the lefty, Cardenas is a 14, -2 is a 12, but the walk plus makes him a 22. That's going to be an automatic walk. So Cardenas does draw the walk. So the Reds do get a base runner. And we will see a pinch hitter for Jim O'Toole. That will be it for him, as the Reds will go to the bench again. And coming on to pinch hit for the Reds will be Elio Chacon. 265 average, 2 homers, 5 RBIs. Elio Chacon will go ahead and pinch hit for the pitcher. Cardenas is on it first. Of course, there's no strategy rolls, but infield is at double play depth. So maybe the Reds can do something here in the top of the 8th inning, down 5-0. Ford will prepare to make a pitch to Chacon. Ford with the pitch, 4-1. That is a walk chance. Against the lefty, Chacon is a 22, -2, and that makes him a 20, and he will walk Chacon. So Ford now having some issues here in the 8th inning. Another walk. So now runners at first and second, and the batter will be Blasingame. Blasingame will bat. I don't think I would take him out at second base. I just don't think I would here. I could, but he'll bat. Blasingame will bat. So now runners at first and second here with 1 out, and the Reds are threatening to try to get some runs. Infield is still at double play depth. Let's see what happens. Strategy rolls are off. Ford will make a pitch. Ford, 5-4, and against the lefty, the split chance against the lefty, that's going to be a strikeout plus. Against the lefty pitcher, Blasingame has a 6, becomes a 16, that's a 7, he got him. He walks a couple, and then he gets a strikeout, and that is strikeout number 6 for the chairman of the board. 2 outs. And now a chance for Casco. Casco has had a great game. He is 3 for 3, 2 singles and a double. If the Reds need Casco to come through right now, it's here. So now runners at first and second. Ford will make a pitch to Casco with 2 outs. Fans here at Yankee Stadium hoping the chairman can call everything to order. Here comes the pitch. It's a 4-1. Again, that's a walk. Against the lefty, that would be a 6, -2 is a 4. That is a 2. He walks Casco, and Ford has walked the bases loaded. Ford has walked the bases loaded. And coming up to bat is Darth Vader Pinzone. And this is a guy that can really help the Reds. If they want to get this game interesting, this is a big chance here for Pinzone. Bases loaded. They're going to let Ford pitch, as you should. Pinzone is 1 for 3. Pinzone is 1 for 3. He's got a single in the game, but there are 2 outs. Whitey Ford gets the ball. Fans here at Yankee Stadium hoping the Yankees can hold on. The 1961 Yankees, World Series champions and one of the best teams in history. Ford will go ahead and prepare to make a pitch. Let's see what we got. Ford, a 3-2. That is another walk chance against the lefty. Pinzone is an 8. -2 is a 6. That is a 10. He does not walk. Now Pinzone gets a chance to hit. Here it comes. 1-4, and that is going to be a fly. That is a hit column roll. That is a ?9. That's a fly ball to right field. Against the lefty, Pinzone, that is a 4. Against the lefty, Pinzone has a single 1-5. He's going to get a base hit to right field, and finally the Reds get on the board. So that's a single to right. So now let's see what happens. We know Cardenas does come in to score. It's a single to right field. Chacon's base running rating is a 4. With 2 outs, it's a 5. A single to right field, second to home, is still a -1 due to Maris's -2 rating. So a -1. So a 1 to 4, Chacon will score. And he does. So Chacon comes in to score. He comes in to score. That is a 4. Casco, his base running rating is a 3. With 2 outs becomes a 4. Because that is a 4, Casco will automatically get to third, and Pinzone will go to first. It's a 2 RBI single by Vader Pinzone. The Reds are on the board. Stadium groans a little bit. A 2 RBI single by Pinzone makes it 5-2. Ford is now tired, and the next batter is the ambassador. Robinson is 0 for 2. He walked his last time up, but now a 5-2 game. Tying run at bat. You know what? If this was the 60s, I would probably yank him. If this was 2020, I would yank him out. But you know what? This is the 60s. They would let Ford get out of this, try to get out of this. Ford is a bit tired, yes, but he did not give up many home runs. So Whitey Ford will pitch to Robinson. I got to play this like 60s baseball. I really can't play 1960s baseball 2022 style. You really can't. You got to try to play it the way they did back then. You're not wrong, though, Dragon King. You're not wrong. Casco at third, Pinzone on at first. Now a 5-2 ball game. Ford will pitch. He is tired, but he's going to pitch. Strategy rolls are still off. Strategy rolls are still off. Ford will make a pitch. 2-3, and that is a strikeout chance. Against the lefty, Robinson is a 6. That's a 16. He does not strike out. Robinson does get the swing. Robinson, 1-4, and Robinson, that's an S4. That's going to be a base hit past second, and another run will score for the Reds. Casco will come in to score. That is a single past second. Single past second, the runner on first. A 3-6 will make third. Pinzone is a 5. He becomes a 6 with 2 outs, so he will easily make third. Robinson gets a base hit. It is now 5-3. Now the tying run is on base. And here comes Wally Post. Now I'll check the Yankee bullpen, see if I want to do anything here. And maybe now we may have to. And let's see. Yankees are going to go to the bullpen, and that's going to be it for Ford. But Whitey Ford pitched beautifully. They're going to come take him out. They're going to take him out, and coming on to pitch for the Yankees will be Tex Clevenger. I'm sure that name brings back some memories. Coming on to pitch for the Yankees, Tex Clevenger. 3 wins, 2 losses, save, a 3.75 ERA. Clevenger will come on and try to get an out here on Wally Post. Post is 0 for 3. But now a 5-3 ball game here in the demo game. Still 2 outs here on the top of the 8th inning, 5-3. We'll go ahead and roll and see what happens here. Strategy rolls are back on because now the difference is a 10 once again. 5 minus 3 is 2, plus 8 is 10. We go back to strategy rolls. That is a 12. Nothing with Pensone and nothing with Robinson. Clevenger will pitch. Clevenger, and that is a 3-2. Clevenger, strikeout chance against the righty. Post is a 15. That is a 15. He just got him. I'm going to say that's a called strike 3. Post did not swing the bat. It was right over the plate, and the side is retired. 3 runs on 2 hits and 3 walks. It's now a 5-3 ball game going into the bottom of the 8th. Even the demo game is turning out to be pretty interesting. And what does this demo game prove? No lead is safe on inside pitch. Know that. No lead is safe on inside pitch. Just go ahead. If you want to know if no lead is safe on inside pitch, just ask the 79 Milwaukee Brewers in their game against the Yankees in the ALDS in 79. Check that game out. You'll know no lead is safe in this ballpark. In this game. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and Tex Clevenger is going to come out of the game. The pitcher was due up to lead off that inning. Whitey Ford was due up. So we're going to see a pinch hitter here for the Yankees. And we'll see a new pitcher, of course, for the Reds. So I think I'll get a Reds pitcher first. And let's see who the Reds are going to bring out to pitch. Let's see. Coming on to pitch for the Reds is going to be Jim Brosnan. 10 wins, 4 losses, 16 saves, a 3.04 ERA. I know I could have double switched, but it's a demo game. It doesn't really matter. So Jim Brosnan will go ahead and pitch for the Reds. And we'll see a pinch hitter for the Yankees. And that is going to be, for the Yankees, will be Johnny Blanchard. 3.05 average, 21 homers, 54 RBIs. So here comes Johnny Blanchard for the Yankees. 3.05, 21.54. Good hitter. Good season in 1961. So bottom of the 8th, Yankees looking for some insurance. Now a 5-3 ball game. Brosnan will make a pitch. And that is a 2-3. And against a righty, that would be a blank. Blanchard is a lefty. That's going to be a star line automatic out. And it will be a 5, and that will be a ground ball to short. So the most saves on the 61 Reds. I believe Brosnan was. He had 16. Bill Henry also had 16 saves for the Reds that year as well. It was him and Bill Henry there, Brian B. So 1 out, and now the batter is Richardson. Richardson is 4 for 4. He's had a heck of a game. All 4 singles, and he scored twice. The Reds have not gotten Richardson out to save their life. 1 out. Brosnan with the pitch. That is a 4-5. And against the righty, against the right-handed batter, that is going to be a blank. So Richardson gets the swing. Richardson, 4-1, and they'll finally get him out. That's a G5. That's a ground ball to third. Freeze will throw him out at first for out number 2. They finally get Richardson out. Next up is Kubek. Kubek is 0 for 4. He did reach on an error. Yeah, it's a lot of saves in 61. That is. That is a lot of saves. Brosnan will pitch to Kubek with 2 outs here on the bottom of the 8th. Let's see what Brosnan does. And that is a 2-6. A 2-6, ET question mark, error on a throw. Well, the Reds have already made 2 errors today. Let's see what happens here. We go to Kubek's card. 1-4. And that is a ground ball to first. A ground ball to first. Well, the ball is hit once again to Coleman. An error on a throw. Coleman's error rating is a 7. But that's a 12. He will not make an error this time. And if Brosnan gets over there and Coleman tosses it in to him to retire the side. So no throwing error. A nice job by Brosnan. A 1-2-3 inning. And it's still a 2-run lead for the Yankees. But will we see some 9th inning magic in this demo game? As we're going to the top of the 9th. Don't worry. Sooner or later, Dragon King, sooner or later, Chris will get to some of the older seasons. But I really told him he's really got to get the 90s and the 2000s done because those are the seasons we were watching. Those are seasons where we were watching those games. That's what I told him. I said, you really need to get the seasons done that we were watching. I mean, 1961, I wasn't born yet. So this will be a new thing for me, actually playing a season that I've never seen before. Greenberg, best Jewish hitter ever. Yeah, even though Rod Carew really converted, but then he didn't. Whatever. Top of the 9th inning, and the Reds, leading off for the Reds is going to be Gordy Coleman. Yankees do need a pitcher. And let's see what they got here. And coming on to pitch for the Yankees is going to be their closer in 1961, and that is Luis Arroyo. 15 wins, 5 losses, 29 saves, a 2.19 ERA. Luis Arroyo will go ahead and he will try to get the game over with. So top of the 9th inning, 5-3 Yankees. Reds trying to pull off an upset here in the demo game. Luis Arroyo against Coleman. Top of the 9th. Let's see what we get. Arroyo, 4-6. And a 4-6 is a W. That is a walk chance. Against the lefty, Coleman is a 9. -2 is a 7. The 17 is too high. Coleman will get the swing. 3-1, and that is going to be a G3. That's a ground ball to first, handled by Scowron, and that is 1 out. Next batter will be Gene Freeze. He is 1 for 3. Arroyo will now pitch to Freeze. There is 1 out. Pitch from Arroyo. And that is a 1-1. That is a strikeout chance against the lefty. Freeze is an 8. That is a 3. He got him. Struck him out. Struck out Freeze. 2 down. Last chance for the Reds is Johnny Edwards, but we're going to see a pinch hitter for him. He only batted 186. I do have another catcher available for the Reds, and that is Bob Schmidt. He'll take over at catcher, but he's not going to pinch hit. And coming on to pinch hit for the Reds is going to be Jerry Lynch. A .315 average, 13 homers, 50 RBIs. He was in 96 games for the Reds. So coming on to pitch for him will be Jerry Lynch against Arroyo. So 2 outs left, 1 out left in the demo game. 5-3 Yankees. Fans here at Yankee Stadium hoping the Yankees can win the demo game. Arroyo to pitch to Lynch. Let's see what happens. Here comes the pitch. And that's Sua Dice. Arroyo, 5-6. And a 5-6 is an ET question mark. That is an error on a throw. Jerry Lynch does get to swing. 5-4. And a 5-4 is going to be an F8. That's going to be a fly ball to center field. Getting under it is the Mick. He takes a couple of steps to his left, puts out his glove, block, and the ball falls into it. That's your demo game. The Yankees win. Yankees win. The Yankees win. The Yankees win this demonstration game 5-3. And a heck of a job here by the Yankees. Roger Maris does club a home run in this game, so it is a good demo game to have. That is your demonstration game for the 1961 season. Now, Brian B. asked me about hits to the outfield and what happens on a 6. We're going to do that real quick. The game is over, but we're going to do something real quick. I'm going to put Jerry Lynch on at second base. I'm going to put Robinson on at first, and I'm going to have Pinzone hit. Because he did ask me to do something, and it didn't come up in the demo game. Let's see if I can go ahead and show you exactly what happens on 6s. Let's go ahead and assume that the Reds have a runner on second, and you got Veda Pinzone going ahead and hitting. Let's say let's just say it's whatever it is off the Arroyo, and we check Pinzone, and let's say it's going to be a single to center field. So let's say Pinzone hits a single to center field here. So it's hit to center field. Now, on the normal, we're just going to say there's like nobody out. So a single to center field, Jerry Lynch with a base running rating of 2. On a single to center, to get from second to home on a single to center on the card is a +1. So that would be a 3, according to the calculations that I have here. So a single to center would be a 3. So a 1-3 Lynch would score. But what if it's a 6? So let's go ahead and say that the die roll is a 6. Okay? So a 6 comes up, which means it's a possible out. The next roll you have to roll is on the outfielder arm. The outfielder arm for center field is Mantle. Mantle's arm rating is a -1. So now you have to see if there's going to be an out. If there's going to be an out, all right? So you roll on the outfielder arm. Now you check to see the arm chart. On a -1, okay, you check the arm rating. A 1-4, it could still be an out. A 5-6, all runners would hold. So let's say a roll is a 5 or a 6. If the roll is a 5 or a 6, Lynch would only get to third and he would stop there on a base hit. But let's say it's a 1-4. So if it's a 1-4, you still could have there still could be a possible out. It doesn't always mean there's gonna be an out. So let's say the next roll is a 3. So now we know that there is gonna be an out. Now we roll on this chart. Now we roll the die a third time, and you roll on this chart. This chart here states what happens on the throw. On a roll of a 1, the lead runner advances, the ball is cut off, and the trailing runner is thrown out. So if the third roll is a 1, Jerry Lynch would still score, but the trailing runner, Frank Robinson, would be thrown out going to the next base, would be thrown out going to third. On a 2 to a 5, the lead runner is thrown out. But if the lead runner is thrown out, but if the roll is higher than the trailing runner, the trailing runner's base running rating, they hold, otherwise they advance. So if it's a 2 to a 5, Lynch would be thrown out. But since Frank Robinson's base running rating is a 4, on a 2, 3, or 4, Robinson still advances. Lynch is out. Robinson advances to third. On a 5, Lynch is thrown out. Robinson holds at second. If it's a 6, however, the lead runner advances, and then you have a runner caught in a rundown. And that was huge. This occurred in a very big game in the World Series in '79. I'm pretty sure remember that the runner got under the tag at the advanced base, which allowed the Angels to beat the Astros in a game. So, and you get caught in a rundown. So that is what happens if a 6 is rolled on a throw being made from the outfield. So I know that Brian B asked me to do that, and that is a quick way of doing it, finding that out. I understand inside pitch is not for everybody. A lot of people don't like rolling dice twice or 3 times. I get that. Okay, payoff pitch, APA. You just need to roll APA. You just need to roll the dice once, usually. Stratomatic once, usually, sometimes twice, depending on the rolls and such. Payoff pitch. Usually 1 die roll is good enough. Sometimes if you use the charts, you might roll again. That's okay. I understand some people don't like to roll dice twice. Okay. But you don't. The one thing about inside pitch, you got to read the cards. Not every card is the same. You got to read the pitcher card, and you've got to read the hitter, and you've got to read the hitter's card. Every batting card, every pitcher's card is different. It's not like some games where if the roll is high, it's going to be an out. If it's doubles, it's going to be probably a hit or a home run. You got to check the cards. Plus, I remember an inside pitch, the dice decide the result on every play. There are no charts that decide a play except for bunting. That's it. Well, that does it for the demo game. My next telecast will be Monday night, July 18th, April 10th, 1961. We are here. We are there. It is opening day for the 1961 season. The Chicago White Sox will take on the Washington Senators from Old Griffith Stadium. It will be early win for the White Sox and Dick Donovan. For the Senators, we get to see players like Nellie Fox and Minnie Minoso on the field for the White Sox. We get to see some Hall of Famers all this season long. The 1961 season is almost upon us. Opening day, Monday night. White Sox, Senators, win. Donovan, be there or be square. Brian B. Woodman, 564, Dragon King. Wesley Kring. I'm sorry, I didn't see you there, my good man. Kevin Hayes, Steeler fan. Bruce Berkowitz. Big Clue. Jack Dawson. Coast Kid, 1958 Favre, Salvador America, Joel Turney. Thank you all for joining me today. Please leave a like on your way out to the turnstiles. Subscribe if you've not done so. And make sure you hit the bell. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong. We will see you next Monday night. The Yankees go ahead and do it on the Reds in this demo game. They went out. I should, of course, and you know what? I am sorry. I did not give you the final line score. My bad. Hold a moment here. Final line score coming up. For the Yankees, 5 runs on 12 hits and no errors. For the Reds, 3 runs on 7 hits and 2 errors. The winning pitcher, of course, is Whitey Ford. Jim O'Toole takes the loss, and Arroyo will get a save for the game. The Yankees go ahead and beat him here 5-3. We will see you next Monday night. Have a good one, everyone. Take care.